Hello, I'm Linda with Thistledown and Company, and today I'm doing a tutorial for you on applique, one aspect of applique for applique placement. I've done other tutorials about applique, how to do turned edge applique using Whisper Light foundation, which creates very nice turned edge applique, which is very easy, and also how to make really easy bias stems using Whisper Light foundation. But today we're going to be using Whisper Light to help place our appliques onto a dark background because the light box isn't going to work. So I'll show you what we mean. So in the sample today, I'm just doing an 8-inch block on a dark background. So our pattern that we're going to use, we want to get where the placement of the appliques are onto our block. But if you were to put this on a light box or even up to a window, it's not going to show through and you're not going to be able to see where you place your appliques. So we do have a solution using Whisper Light. So you're going to take your pattern and you're going to take a piece of Whisper Light. Now Whisper Light, I'll explain, is a very lightweight, super lightweight Whisper Light foundation. It's 42 inches wide, so it's the same width of fabric, so it's a really good value. It's very stable, and there's no glue. This is not a fusible at all. So it's just a very ultra lightweight foundation, and we use it to do needle turn or turned edge applique and bias stems and applique placement. So you'll cut a piece of the Whisper Light, and that's on our website. It's sold by the yard. So you're going to cut a piece, and you're going to place it, I did this ahead of time, you're going to place it on your pattern. And then you're going to pin it in place. Okay. And then you're going to use one of two things, either a white quilting pencil or a white quilting marker. This is like a ballpoint pen type marker. Now this one, I'm going to mark this piece of black fabric ahead of time because it's kind of a strange pen. I like it a lot, but you'll see what I mean. And I'm going to mark it on this black because I tried it on this and it doesn't show up well on camera. I can see it myself, but not on camera. So this marker, when you draw on black or a dark background, doesn't look like it's working, does it? Well, we're going to set that aside, and I'll show you in a few minutes. So we'll go back to our pencil, and we're going to trace our pattern with our white pencil, our white quilting pencil, onto the Whisper Light. And I did that ahead of time so you didn't have to watch me. Kind of like watching paint dry. Okay, so now we have it all drawn out on the Whisper Light in the white pencil. And I also had marked, let me show you quick, registration marks. We had this lined up because the Whisper Light is bigger than the pattern. So you want to make a little registration mark in each corner. So when you lay it on your block, you line those registration marks up so that your applique placement is correct. So you want to get those registration marks lined up. Okay, so then you're just going to put a pin or two in, and then we're going to baste it with our machine or by hand, whichever you prefer. My machine's right here. We're just going to run a line of basting along the top edge and stitch the Whisper Light to our quilt block, which is a quick basting stitch. I'm not sewing over my pins, I'm sewing next to them. Or taking them out. Okay. Okay, so now we have our Whisper Light attached to the top edge of our block. So, when it comes to placing our appliques, there's a couple things you can do. So our appliques I have prepared and I numbered them, 1 through 7. You're going to flip up the Whisper Light and you're going to slide the applique underneath and you're going to line it up with the drawn lines on the whisper light. And then you know it's in the right place. So then you can flip this out to the side, and you can pin this or baste it by hand, whichever. And you can stitch it down or leave it and go on to the next one. And again, you're going to line this up with the drawn lines on the whisper light. And you can see when you get the applique in place. And then flip it out of the way and go on to the next one. So then, now this, if you're going to like stitch these on by hand, you might want to like pin one or two and stitch them in and add more. So the whisper light you can flip out of the way, but it's still attached, and it's not going to get in your way of stitching these in place. So then you can stitch these in place, take the pins out, and then go on and add more. And if you were, now that's for hand applique. Now if you were doing fusible, it's the same thing. You would line them up with the lines on the top, and then you can actually fuse right through this. You could, you know, take your iron, if it was the fusible, and go like this, and fuse them right down. And then they'd be in place. So it works for hand or fusible. Okay, so there's one way, by flipping the drawing back and forth. Or you can take your pencil and redraw over the lines that you drew on the whisper light before. And you'll redraw. And the whisper light is transparent enough that the white is coming through, and you're not going to see it real good on the camera. Sorry, I should have picked a solid background, but I can see it enough, and you would be able to also in person. Then you can darken the lines. Okay, so now you have your applique placement actually drawn on your fabric. So you can either do that, and then you don't have to baste this to the top. You can just, you know, let it go away. And then you would just take your appliques, you know, and place them. So you can do it either way. Now back to our funny white marker. Okay, so these marks that I drew earlier now are showing up, but it took a while for them to show up. So it, like I said, it looks like it doesn't work, but then as time passes, they get whiter. So if you use this marker, bear that in mind. It's going to take a while for the marks to show up, but it draws a really nice, fine line. So I like, and this is heat erase. So now if I take it over to the iron and go like this, the marks are gone. So it's really a cool thing. So it's like a friction pen, but in white. So also, I mean, this is perfect solution to getting your appliques placement marked onto a dark background. But you can use the same technique on even a light background. So on the light background, even though you can see through it, like I said, you wouldn't have to do it because of the light box, but you would take it and you would trace it. Just going to use the same square. And I'm just going to trace one petal to show you how it works. So now I've traced it with a black friction marker, and then if you go and you trace over it again, and this I kind of covered in my tutorial on quilting hacks and transferring in embroidery designs and quilting designs. This technique is covered in that also. But there you go. Now you can see there's your placement of your applique. And again, this is like the white marker. You take heat to it, and it goes bye-bye. So I love the friction pens. They're great for all kinds of different things. But that is how you can get your applique diagram transferred onto a black or very dark background where a light box is not going to work, and makes it very easy. And hopefully that will solve a problem you might have been having with applique placement on dark backgrounds. Works great for also, like I said, embroidery, if you want to transfer designs onto embroidery, and that's on my other tutorial. So I hope this was helpful to you, and if you like my videos, please share and subscribe, and hope this finds you well, and thank you so much, and happy stitching.